Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Mooney. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Before Europe had kingdoms, before Arabia had sultans, before the trade routes of the world were drawn with borders and flags, there was Aksum. This was an African empire powerful enough to mint its own currency, send ambassadors across the known world, and stand shoulder to shoulder with the giants of its time, Rome, Persia, and China. And yet, this empire is almost completely erased from our modern textbooks. This is the forgotten story of Aksum, the ancient superpower of East Africa. Our story begins in the highlands of modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea, around 100 BCE. This was a land blessed by nature. It had incredibly fertile soils, ideal for farming. It had high protective mountains, gold mines filled with treasure, and most importantly, direct access to the bustling trade of the Red Sea. While many parts of the world were still organized into small tribes, Aksum was already laying the foundations of a true empire. They were developing advanced agriculture, creating one of the continent's earliest written languages, Ge'ez, and beginning to build monuments that would stand for millennia. This wasn't just a village, it was the birth of a civilization. One of the most stunning testaments to Aksum's power is its architecture, which was unlike anything else in the world at the time. I'm talking about the great stelae of Aksum. These were towering stone monoliths, single pieces of solid granite carved and erected to soar into the sky. The tallest, the great stele, reached an astonishing 90 feet, weighing over 500 tons. To put that in perspective, that's heavier than any single stone at Stonehenge. And they accomplished this feat without steel tools, without cranes, without any of the modern machinery we rely on today. These weren't just grave markers. They were symbols of royal power, a connection between the earth and the heavens, a declaration of eternal memory. In a very real sense, these were Africa's first skyscrapers, monuments of engineering and ambition that still leave us in awe. Then, around the year 270 CE, Aksum took a step that cemented its place as a global power. It became one of the very first civilizations on Earth and the first in sub-Saharan Africa to mint its own coins. They produced coins in gold, silver, and bronze, each one stamped with the image of an Aksumite king wearing a royal crown. This was a massive statement. Money is influence. It's a language understood everywhere, a sign of sovereignty and economic might. And when Aksumite gold began appearing in distant markets, the world took notice. Rome noticed. Persia noticed. India noticed. Aksum wasn't just a regional player anymore. It was on the world stage. And what a stage it was! Aksum's strategic location made it the crossroads of the ancient world. Through its legendary port city of Adulis on the Red Sea, goods and ideas flowed from every corner of the known world. Caravans and ships arrived from Rome, Greece, Arabia, Persia, and as far away as India and China. In return, Aksum exported its own vast wealth: gold, precious ivory, fragrant frankincense and myrrh, exotic animals, and high-quality textiles. The empire became a commercial hub, a middleman connecting continents. The Romans, who were notoriously proud, officially recognized only two other powers as their equals: Persia and Aksum. That single fact speaks volumes about the respect and power this African empire commanded. In the 4th century, Aksum underwent a profound transformation. Under the rule of King Izana, the empire officially adopted Christianity, making it one of the very first Christian states in history, even before many parts of Europe. But here's where the story gets deeper. This wasn't a simple case of replacing old beliefs with new ones. Aksum's conversion was a blend, a fusion. The new faith was woven into the existing cultural fabric. Aksumite Christianity retained powerful African symbolism, ancient ritual practices, and a uniquely African concept of the divine. They didn't just copy Rome or Jerusalem. They created something distinctly their own. They embraced a New World religion while fiercely holding on to their identity, a pattern of cultural synthesis that has defined the region ever since. So, what happened to this mighty empire? Aksum didn't fall in a single, dramatic battle. Its decline was a slow, gradual process over centuries. A new power was rising in the 7th century, the Islamic Caliphates. As they expanded across Arabia and North Africa, they took control of the Red Sea, effectively cutting off Aksum from its vital maritime trade routes. At the same time, the climate began to change, making the highlands drier and agriculture less reliable. Trade routes shifted, internal divisions grew, and the empire slowly lost its grip on its coastal ports. It was a perfect storm of environmental, economic, and political pressures. But the fall of the empire was not the end of its people. The civilization didn't just vanish, it transformed. The legacy of Aksum evolved into the modern nations of Ethiopia and Eritrea, two countries that carry some of the oldest cultural DNA on the planet. The architectural wonders of Aksum still stand. The Ge'ez language is still used in religious ceremonies. The symbols, the art, and the unique spiritual traditions continue to live on in the daily lives of millions. Aksum teaches us a powerful lesson. A legacy doesn't truly die. It changes, it adapts, and it becomes the foundation upon which the future is built. The forgotten empire is still speaking to us if we only listen. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more hidden histories.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.